So you go to, this is how it's supposed to happen, and I guess I'll just let y'all know by email whenever it does happen, but you go down and you click on your class, and you know how user-friendly Blackboard isn't. So this is how we have to find our classes. We have to go look for them because they don't, sort them by, we have to go look for them. Anyway, y'all are Math 12024. Click on it. Then go over here and click on My Labs Math. Hit My Labs Math again. It may ask y'all, since y'all are students, it may ask y'all read the policies, check the policies, hit enter, that kind of thing, security thing. And then it's going to send you here. Remember, find your class. You don't hit Math 130 if you're in Math 120. Of course, you don't have these. I do. So find your class, 12024. And remember, green means go. Hit the green button. Hit the green button. Launch, publish your website. You're not going to read a book. This is reading book. You're not going to read a book. Launch, publish your website. And if everything goes right, you should be hitting an orange button. Yellow, orange, whatever you want to call it. It says Open My Labs and Master. And if you see My Lab statistics, then that means you've done it. Did anybody have a problem with it? What did it say? Error 404? Okay, this is the only class that is doing that. And I've went back and recreated the class, so I don't know what it is. I think it's something on Tri-County side, between Tri-County and My Labs Math, because it's only with one class. Yes?
If I can sign in with my Pearson account, do I do my Tri-County login, exactly? Or
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
It's telling me to sign in with my Pearson account. Do I sign in with my Tri-County login?
What class did you have in here last? Or with My Labs Math, or with My Labs Pearson? You have to use whatever you used then. Do you remember if it was Plus or was it My Labs Math?
It was plus.
Don't use that. You're gonna have to create a new account.
Okay.
If you had an old account with My Labs Plus, it's a different animal. You're gonna have to make a new account with My Labs Math. Okay, she said that she had a option to type in her My Lab Pearson account. If you had My Labs Plus a couple of semesters ago, you can't use that. You have to create a new account. That's for those people that have had this before. New people, if you're getting an error 404, did anybody not get an error 404 and get in? Anybody?
I'm trying to make a Pearson account.
Huh.
Yeah.
So it's only not working with people that are like MacBooks.
Yeah, ours, when you go to click on it, it says, like, make sure like allow cookies. And then you want
Okay, this is what I suggest y'all do. Go downstairs. You don't go down right now or after class. Go downstairs in the lab and use a computer, one of them in the lab, and you shouldn't have any problem. If you want to do it now, you can. I don't mind that. Go ahead and try it, and I'll stall, and we'll be talking about My Labs Math, so go do that right quick, and let me know what it says.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to do that. I'll stop the recording, and we'll just sit here and talk. No, I'm just kidding. We'll do something, because somebody will complain if we just sit here and talk.
All right, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
So that's it. Okay.
The weird thing is it's like when I use my TCTC email address and put in my username, it's telling me that I already have an account. But when it's, huh?
Try to forget your password.
Yeah, try that. Well, I guess nothing was wrong with the class. It was just operators, no offense, but it was the different accounts and stuff like that. And I can tell you right now, if you're gonna have a problem with something, it's gonna be with the MacBook. I'm sorry. That's just, they have, and I'm just speaking from experience. They have eluded themselves so much that you can't put anything on their computers. Phones also. Yes.
I went through Chromes and got through.
Okay, Chrome, well, the handout says you should get Chrome, doesn't it? So, I wonder if they got Chrome. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I got Chrome.
In fact, if you don't, this won't run right. It'll just give you a white screen. So, and it may not do it right now, but it's gonna do it in the future. If you get a white screen, just switch computers or clear your cookies, clear your history, or use another search engine like Mozilla Firefox. Okay? Question. Right, complaint. You can move that bucket and stuff if you want to. I know you don't want it right there in front of you. Any questions?
But we do on a screen kind of like this.
That's it. Yep, you're there. We're gonna talk about that in just a few minutes. I want to wait until the prodigal children get back up here and we'll, how about y'all at home? Have y'all had any trouble?
I couldn't
Go ahead.
one from the Mac, but I couldn't get the phone.
You're breaking up a little bit. Say it one more time.
I have a MacBook and couldn't log on to the textbook either. But
Okay,
I did it on my phone and it works. I don't know.
okay, well, you might, let me ask you this. Are you using a MacBook?
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna have to get Chrome. Have you got Chrome yet? Google
No.
Chrome?
No.
Okay, the handouts say you have to have Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. I remember I put that on there. Did I not? Thought I did. If I didn't, my fault. But you're gonna have to have Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. So you need to run those two. And if you ever get a day that you come up with a white screen, then you need to either clear your cookies, or you need to switch computers, or you need to switch search engines. Okay, now we're gonna move on. Now there's 3 buttons that y'all need to be aware of. Now, I want to make sure everybody pays attention here, because after today, I'm not going to answer questions. Okay? I'm not going to answer something that I've already went over and you were playing on your computer or whatever. All right? So I'm just telling you. All right. The 3 buttons are assignments. What do you think assignments are? That's where you find all your assignments. So now that this works, I need to go in and I need to, let's see, which one is this one? See, I've got 2. So I'm going to have to go in 47302. I think that's the one. Let me go in right quick. I'm going to have to fix this because the other class, give me a second and let me fix this. Wait a minute, I think I can. No, I can't. That's the student version. Let me go in and fix this while we're waiting on those people. My labs, math. Let me go ahead and show you this also, why they're here, why they're not here. Go ahead and copy down this website. Right there. Okay, it's called mlm.pearson.com/North America. That's where we live. Y'all didn't know that. /my/math/lab/. Now, why do you need that? Because Blackboard is down half the time, and Murphy's Law says when something can go bad, it will go bad. And when you have to turn in something or finish a test, Blackboard is going to be down. Anybody want to back that up? Thank you. All right. So every time you're in a crunch, Blackboard is going to crash. So this is your way in without going through Blackboard after you registered. How do you know if you registered? Well, if you see the assignments and you see the grade book and stuff like that, that means you're registered. So go ahead and pull this up. Get out of My Labs Math. Pull this up and type in your username and password. And I bet I can't remember mine because I don't ever have to remember it on my laptop. Oh, thank you. All right, I think it's this one right here. Yeah, it's this one. And I'm gonna go in and check the grade book and see how many people are in there. Did it work when y'all went downstairs?
Yeah, it worked downstairs, so now we're gonna try another.
Well, did y'all put Google Chrome on y'all's laptop? Yeah, you can. In fact, the handout, does the handout say it or not? It does. Then y'all didn't read the handouts. Instructor grade book. Oh yeah, we got 15 in there. Good job. Okay, it's working now. I'll just tell those people at My Labs Plus, My Labs Math, that people didn't read the handouts. All right. There's everybody that's in there so far. Even Mr. Smith got on. If Mr. Smith can get on, everybody should be able to get on. You're tough. You can handle it, can't you, Mr. Smith?
Hey, at least I ain't a bulldog.
What? That's all right. They choke every year, just like Atlanta, anything. Atlanta Hawks, Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Braves, they choke. If they're Georgia, they choke.
Mine's telling me that I don't have an account, and then it's asking me when I register to enter a course ID or program ID.
I don't know where that comes from.
I don't know. This is.
You need to call the help desk because I don't know why it's asking for a course ID. Did you get your password situated?
No, it's saying that whenever I put in my email or anything, that I don't even have an account. So when I go to register,
And you're putting in your Tri-County Tech email.
Yeah.
Call the help desk. You're gonna have to call the help desk, or I don't know.
Did you make your account?
Did you create an account?
When I tried to create an account, it asked me for on that website that you just told us to look
You have to
up.
make it through one.
Yeah, you have to go through Blackboard to register.
So
Okay, now I'm ready to go ahead, and since the prodigal children have returned,
Well, not all of them.
I'm going to, well, not all of you. Of course, Miss Gray's not here. All right, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to add the assignments because y'all need to be starting on your homework because you should be reading chapter 1 and chapter 2. So I'm going to go ahead and add chapter 1 and chapter 2 and we can look at it. So there's the orientation. You have to do the orientation also. So 1.1 assigned, 1.2 assigned, 1.3 assigned, 1.4 assigned, 1.5, 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. Okay, now as soon as I hit save, go to assignments and you should be able to see those assignments. And there they are. Now I'm going to go down to 2.3 because I want to find a math question. And the only one I can think of, I think, is 2.2 or 2.3. So I'm going to try to find a math question. No coughing in class. All right. We actually had a teacher that threw students out. They got fired. If you yawned 3 times, they would throw you out of class. We had another teacher that had a red Solo cup. And this is no joke. I had an office in Oconee Hall back then. And he would go to the car after each class and fill up that red Solo cup.
Mhm.
And by 1 o'clock, he was trashed.
What do you fill it up with?
He was fired. What?
What do you fill it up with?
It wasn't Kool-Aid.
No, what brand?
It was something strong to get him, well, that's 20 ounces, that'd be 60 ounces, unless he was mixing it. He was probably mixing it, I hope. Anyway, he was fired. And then we had the Spanish teacher. The reason I'm telling you this is there are some teachers that have no, I don't know what it is, no sense. They have no sense. We had one Spanish teacher, if you're gonna do something illegal, please lock the door of your office if you're gonna do something illegal,
Oh, what they do?
okay? So, anyway, he was
What'd
caught
they do?
doing something illegal and he basically got fired, got escorted off by the police. So, anyway. Then we had a speech teacher that decided to show a porn movie in the middle of, he was fired and escorted off. Y'all think that an instructor has a lot of sense? There's some, they ain't got a bit of sense. Now, I'm not saying I'm the smartest, knife in the drawer, but at least if I'm gonna do something illegal, if I'm gonna do something that's gonna send me to jail, I at least am not gonna do it on campus, or if I am, I'm gonna lock the door. Anyway, I want you to look at the following buttons down here, okay? Now, this is very important. I want everybody to get a sheet of paper right now, and I want you to write this down because I don't want you to send me an email, I don't know what to do, okay? Because I don't do deadheads, okay? Once I tell you something, you should write it down. Does everybody know what a learning style is? It's how you learn. Most people are visual learners, okay? Some people like to read. Some people like to, have it discussed with them. All right, that's what these are. Help Me Solve This is a guided tutorial. Right now, guided tutorial. Now, some of y'all may have had a teacher before that actually did a guided lecture. A guided lecture and a guided tutorial is when the teacher or the tutor or whatever asks you questions while they're trying to explain something to you. And that's what it is. Write that down. Ask you questions while during explanation. And that's what Help Me Solve This is. Who uses Help Me Solve This? Somebody that has never seen the material, usually. Let's say you're a student that's had Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 and geometry, and then you were told you didn't need a math your senior year or whatever. You've never seen probability. You might want to use that button because it might help you when, and all these buttons that I'm showing you right now, are when you're at home and you can't get through a problem. And it shows you how to do the problem, and you hit continue, and it may ask you a question or two, and that's it. That's a guided tutorial. View an example, write that down, and just put in quotation mark, just show me how to do it. Most people use this button that have had probability and statistics before. Now, I realize there's one or two of y'all out there, guys, that think y'all wrote the book on probability and statistics, okay? That may not be true when we get through with this semester, all right? Because there are things that I'm going to show you in probability and statistics that the high schools didn't, okay? So even those people that wrote the book or think they wrote the book, you're going to learn something new also, okay? So that's viewing examples. I'll show you that. It's not going to ask you a question. It's just going to do what? It's just going to show you how to do it. Now, I don't know if this is a math question. This is not a math question, but the concepts are the same. Well, what if these two don't help you? Well, then you go over here. Now, this one could have a video, and I want you to write down video and graphic tutorial. Video and graphic tutorial are the same things. One is done by a computer, the other one is done by video camera. Did you have success? Do y'all know what the problem was? We figured it out. The handout says you got to have Chrome, Google Chrome, and some of y'all didn't read the handout. Because you can put Google Chrome on MacBooks. That's where y'all are having a problem. That's why when you went downstairs, you could do it. Tell everybody how to get to Google Chrome. Anybody? Want to volunteer? Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, I have a MacBook, what you do is you just type in Google Chrome and you search for download, and it should have it up.
Oh, so it automatically reads whether you have a MacBook or not, and then you go through and do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing it right now.
Good. Good. Yes, ma'am.
You said the video and the graphic, what? What is it?
Graphic tutorial. It'll say something graphic. It'll say graphic tutorial or graphic explanation or something. One is done by a computer like PowerPoint, and then the other one is done by video camera, somebody, usually, no coughing in class. Usually, if you cough more than 3 times, I'm gonna throw you out. All right, then they can come and fire me. Then I won't have to wear this damn mask. All right, we don't have to wear a mask on the farm. All right, textbook. That's for you readers. That's for you people that can read War and Peace in like 2 days. All right, those people that like to read, I read the funny paper and fall asleep. Okay, I'm one of those people. If I read 1 page of a book, no matter how much I'm interested in it, I fall asleep. Some of y'all can read a whole book and not fall asleep. I don't know how y'all do it. StatCrunch, that's a glorified spreadsheet. That really doesn't help you. It just helps you with the calculations. Now I'm going to show you how to do both. I use Excel. I don't know what y'all's Chromebooks or whatever. I use Excel. What's it called on Chromebooks? If you have a Chromebook, it's called Data Table or something. What's it called? Okay, well, nobody has a Chromebook then, because y'all would know. I'll show you how to use the TI-84. I'll show you how to use all that. I'm not anti-calculator. I'm anti-replacing the calculator for thinking. Okay? That's what I don't believe you should take a calculator to take the square root of 25 or add 6 plus 8. If you're one of those people, then you depend on the calculator way too much. All right.
With the calculator here, do we need to have like a physical, or can we use?
You can use it online. In fact, that's the one I use if they haven't taken it off, which chances are they probably have. Ask my instructor. Now this is it. This is the button that you use as a last resort. Now this button also does several things besides answer your question. It also gauges the class. And I'll get to that in just a minute because I want to talk about that. Okay? Ask my instructor. I'm going to hit that button. And you don't have to type a message, but I'm going to type a message. And it is going to be, if you could teach, I would know how to do this. Okay, I'm doing that for a reason. I would know how to do this. I'm going to send it. And then every time we meet, I go to my handy dandy email account. Please tell me, yeah, there it is. And for some reason, it's sending it to junk mail. And there it is. Let me pull it up, send it over here to y'all. There's what I just sent, because there is the message. If you could teach, I would know how to do this. It sends me that, and at the beginning of class, I go over your questions. Ain't that neat? My son was at Robert Anderson last semester, and he had virtual, which was a total cluster. Okay. District 5 totally botched that up. He actually had however many classes, and not one single one of them had any kind of help for a homework question. Did y'all have virtual classes like that? Anybody? There's no help whatsoever. So if you were doing a problem at home, there was no help available. How do you take a class like that? I could not. I just, fixed me something to drink and just, helped him with math and science. That's about the only thing I could help him with. And I just went and watched TV. I couldn't fathom teaching a course and not supplying some kind of help or something. It just blew me away. No wonder they had everybody failing. Anyway, now, why is this important for the class? Well, this is how things are supposed to go. And you don't have to write this down, but this is how things are supposed to go. If I teach 2.1 today, then what you're supposed to do when you go home is you're supposed to work on 2.1 material and send me questions. You should be able to do with what I present and what you know, you should be able to do about 90% of your homework. And then send me questions that don't make sense to you. Send me questions that you can't get the right answer, even though you think you're doing it right. Those type things. Then I will go over those questions, and then I'll go over 2.3. What if I do not get questions from 2.2? Let's say Wednesday, Friday rolls around, and I don't have any questions from 2.2. What am I going to assume? That you know how to do it. What's the problem?
Probably don't know how to do it.
Well, there's some people that are going to wait until I get to 2.5 to do 2.1 and 2.2. And they're going to send me questions when I'm expecting questions from 2.5. I'm not going to cover those questions. Okay? So before you run off to the department head and say that I'm not covering your questions, I will cover the questions, the procrastinators, I will cover your questions outside of class in virtual office hours. Okay? The way that my class runs, I go over the material, you do the homework. You send questions, I either go over questions or I go to the next section. It works really well. The procrastinators hate it, and they usually fall by the wayside. And I'm sorry, that's the way it works. Okay? Who's got questions on that? That's the way it works. And please don't do this. Oh, well, I don't want to send a question because I don't want to. Shut up. All right? So you'd rather be ignorant than to, have somebody explain something to you. That's kind of like the girl that goes on a date. You take her to a nice restaurant and she orders a carrot and a freaking glass of water. Okay? You are paying for this class. You are paying to have somebody teach you something. Now, I do realize that some of y'all know everything, guys. I realize that some of y'all know everything, but you don't. So send the questions, all right? That's all I'm gonna say. I tell every student, every class that, okay? You use your resources. Use the help me solve this, use the textbook, use whatever, but if you can't answer those questions after you do all that, send me the questions. Because I'll tell you a little secret. If you send me a question, chances are there's 2 or 3 people out here that's got that same question, but they don't want to send it. Okay? So I usually have to rely on the people that aren't embarrassed over everything. Okay? And usually they send the questions for the whole class. But, it'd be very helpful if everybody sent questions. Anybody got a question about the homework and what is expected? Now, let me explain something else to you. And right now, I'm not going over anything. So you're not really responsible for any homework. But you are reading. And I told you, the reading I want you to kind of do on your own, and I'd like for you to have it done maybe by Monday, chapter 2 and chapter 3. I want you to go in and play with the homework, and if you see something that you have no idea what they're asking, go ahead and send it to me. Probably Friday, I'm going to start outlining chapters 1 and 2. I'm going to go through. If you want to see how I do it, go on my YouTube channel and watch the 3rd and 4th day. You'll see me go into 1.1. I'll go in and highlight the terms that you're going to see on the test.
What was your YouTube channel?
It's
McClure Math or?
yeah, you go up, you type in Hubert McClure and hit the pink shirt and then hit playlist. Now, I loaded y'all's first class of the first day. I loaded it the other day, so it's there. But I teach 120 like every semester, so you can go back into last semester and hit that. I'd say watch the 3rd and 4th day, and that's where you'll see me go through chapter 1 and chapter 2, and I hit the highlights. I tell you what's not going to be on the test, and I tell you what's going to be on the test. Everybody got that? Now I want you, if you want to, because I know only 1 or 2 of you is going to do it. If you want to, go and watch the video, and then you'll see what I'm going to start doing Friday. I'm just going to go through, and if I see a vocabulary word in chapter 1, I'll pull it up on here. We look at it, and I'd say, that's going to be on the test. That's not going to be on the test. It's going to be on the test. What does it mean? And I go through that until we get to the math, and that's chapter 3. So in chapter 1 and chapter 2, I want you just to kind of, I don't want to say float, but for right now, until I start, which will be Friday, I want you to kind of just read and do some homework, okay? And then after Friday, if I cover 1.1 and 1.2, then you need to do 1.1 and 1.2 before Monday. Y'all see, when I start talking about math in class, that's when you need to start making sure you do the homework before we meet again. Capiche? Okay. I'm not Italian. I just like that word. Okay? I'm not, you would never guess, without my name, you would never guess where my family comes from. Never guess, in 100 years. Anybody? Ireland. Ireland. That's where all my family's from, even my mama. Because there is a term of Black Irish. Everybody thinks somebody comes from Ireland, you gotta have red hair and fair skin. Not the Black Irish. The Black Irish, they have brown eyes and black hair. Okay? So, yes.
So if I go home and read the 1.1 stuff, technically I don't need to do the homework until after Friday?
I didn't hear what you said.
So if I go home and read the 1.1 stuff, technically I don't need to do the homework until after Friday when you teach it?
Well, yeah, pretty much. Well, I would say go ahead and technically you could do a lot of chapter 1 and chapter 2, knock that out because it's a lot of definitions. So, we're really not going to get to the meat till we get to chapter 3. Let me go ahead and tell you this, and you need to write this down. 70% of Unit 1 test is going to come from chapter 3. 70% of your Unit 1 test is going to come from chapter 3. So now you know why I'm saying floating. I'm just going to go over the 1 and 2, but we're going to spend probably a week and a half on chapter 3, because I know there's going to be 1 or 2 things in there that you've never seen before. Even though you think you know everything, there's going to be 1 or 2 things in there that you've never seen before. Okay? Now that's the homework. So what else do you need to know? Well, you need to know about student grade book. Student grade book. What do you think the student grade book shows you? And somebody in here will email me at the end of the semester. And what will that question say? What's my grade? Did they get a reply? Hell to the no. I'm not going to reply to a college student that has a button on their website that says my grade book and gives you your grade when all my assignments are on that website. Okay? And if you want to see the calculation, there it is. Now, I haven't changed this. It needs to be changed because it's not weighted right. So I need to change that, and I will do that within the next week. 20% on homework, 80% on test. And you'll know that from your handout and technically your syllabus. E-text. That's how you get your book online. Click on that. Let's say you want to read 1.1. You go to chapter 1. You click on 1.1 and start reading. Well, that's the multimedia. Hold on. I can't see at this angle. I guess, yeah, oh, there it is. There we go. E-text. Where? They've done restructured this thing in 120. This is a new book. So y'all just gonna have to bear with me a second. There it is. And if you've got a book, you can open it up, but it's gonna look just like this. There it is. And you can go up here to the 3 dots and you can print it out page by page if you want to do that. Okay? So that's the e-text. So let me go through and do something for y'all. Let me go through and show you something else, because I believe in trying to help y'all out as much as possible. Let me go to, wait a minute, is this, yeah, there it is. I got to remember which course is the one that's working. That's the one that's working. I've got 2 courses that say Math 120-24 because I went through and I redid it because everybody was having trouble. All right, instructor tools, assignment manager. And there's no test, so I need to copy, import, next, choose, Math 1 this fall. Oh, I'm not gonna be, I'm gonna have to bring it in through, yeah, I'm gonna have to bring it in. I was gonna show you a test, but I can't show you a test right now because I gotta bring it in from an old class because this is a new book. I was going to show you a test and how it works, but I ain't going to do that right now. Okay, questions so far on My Labs Math. Everything is on My Labs Math. I've said that probably 3 or 4 times. I'll probably say it another 3 or 4 times for that person that's going to email me and say, I can't find your assignments on Blackboard. Okay? They will not get a reply. I do everything on My Labs Math. I may say My Labs Plus, that's what it used to be called. My Labs Math. Your test, your homework, your exam is on My Labs Math. You have 1 week to take the test. You have 3 attempts. I take the highest grade. You have 90 minutes to take a 50-minute test. If there's someone in here that has documentation for extra time, after you take those 3 tests that has extra time, and you're not satisfied with your grade, I will grant you extra time more if you have documentation. If those people that have documentation, you know what I'm talking about. Capiche? Because I don't want you running to my department head saying, he's not giving me extra time. You already have extra time. I'm telling you, if you have documentation and you don't do, let's say you take the 3 tests and you have a 62, a 68, and a 71. There's not much progression there. And any teacher will tell you that anybody that takes 3 tests, most of the time they'll show some progression. So if I do see that and I don't see progression, then I will grant extra time to those that have documentation. Let's see, what else? The dates for the homework and the test will be assigned whenever we go through the pretest. I will put them on my lab's math. You can see them on my lab's math. Should you ever ask me when the homework and test is due? No, because one, you watch the outline, and whenever we get to that last section of 3.5, I think it is, that's when we're going to have a test. Okay? And that's when I'm going to assign the test. I'll assign the homework. Usually I give y'all a day because you already should have all the homework done except for that 3.5. And it should take you more a day or two to finish that. I am not centering my classes around the people that procrastinate. So if you say, let's say next Friday, I pull up the pretest and I say, okay, you got Monday to do the test. Well, Mr. Smith, he hadn't done any of the homework, and he says, whoa, wait a minute, I ain't got enough time. You should be on 3.5. You got the whole weekend to finish 3.5. Well, I ain't even started the homework. We are a product of our own what? Decisions. We are a product of our own, decisions and choices. Mr. Smith decided not to do the homework way back the first day of the week, first day of the semester. You made a choice, okay? Everybody don't get a trophy. Who's got questions? Yes, ma'am. It'll be due before the test. In other words, usually, let's say, first of all, I have to use a month that we're not in. Okay, July. All right? Because if I say September, oh my God, some of y'all will go into hysterics and run into the wall. Okay? No, it's August. If I say August, so I'm gonna say July. Let's say that I finished the 3.5 on July 2nd, and I say in class, I say, okay, guys, we're gonna have a test coming up, so that means probably Friday. Let's say today's July 2nd. Friday, we're gonna have a pretest. I'll pull up the test in front of y'all. I'll sign the dates on the test in front of y'all. And then I'll go over to the homework and I'll assign the dates on it. I usually like to give the class a weekend to finish the homework. I usually do that unless it falls on a Monday or Tuesday. So, and Mr. Smith, and who else has had me before? Thought you did. Yeah, they can attest. I do not pull low punches, okay? I give y'all plenty of time to do the stuff that you need to do, okay? Who else has got a question? So I've covered this material so well that none of you have any questions. No, I don't think so. All right, so let's go ahead and finish up. I've got 10 minutes to finish up, so I'm going to go ahead and call the roll. Let me go ahead and turn off the stuff. Let me turn off the recording. I think it's funny that all three people eyes up. Isn't that funny?
That one you can still see his face.
Say again?
That one you can still see his face.
I know. Yep. Oh, well. Yeah, he moved his up. Thank you, Mr. Norton. We can see what you look like. All right. So I'm going to turn the recording off, and I'm going